Mrs. Danielle DeVita back with another video. I overheard someone say that marriage is overrated. A lot of women say, I like the strong, silent type. Well, a lot of men like the feminine. Mrs. Danielle DeVita back with another video. I overheard someone say that marriage is overrated. A lot of women say, I like the strong, silent type. Well, a lot of men like the feminine, silent type. And for sure, it's going down. So a lot of times people are not getting the value. When to speak and when to be quiet is one of the most powerful. She's going to be aggressive, thinking that. And as someone who's been married for 12 years, she's driven, not lazy. And this will make yourself and get on the right path. That understand that you might be doing a disservice to your daughter. If you don't help her understand vetting and proper decision making, now she's going to be a basket case later. If you don't help her understand emotional intelligence, she's going to hold on to a lot of emotional baggage. If you don't. We live in a world where femininity, marriages, family, and courting is no longer valued. We live in hookup culture, situationships, and struggle love. The number one reason women struggle in long-term relationships, number one, femininity, and number two, staying in a relationship or entertaining people longer than the woman should. My name is Danielle DeVita, and I'm a relationship and femininity coach. I've been married for 12 years, and I want to help you get on your feminine journey and vet for the right man today. For more of my content, you can visit MrsDanielleDeVita.com, or you can go to YouTube, Instagram, or my Facebook page. Get on your feminine journey today. Welcome. We are live. It looks like I'm having some Wi-Fi issues, so I apologize in advance for that. I'm not sure what is going on with the Wi-Fi. I know it's not me. So here we go. All right, so we are live here on Instagram as well. Welcome, Facebook and YouTube. So my name is Danielle, Femininity Coach, and I apologize. I am on a different camera today, so it for you Facebook. So this is the exposure is bad. I'm not sure what's going on. The Wi-Fi, everything's a hot mess. Talk clip for you. And then we're going to talk about it because a lot of people do feel that, you know, why not date someone who is married in their the relationship's not working out with them. But end of the day, the person is still married. And a lot of people are upset that, well, this person deceived me or this person deceived me. They made me believe that they were going to get a divorce or they were going to break up. And I say it all goes back to vetting, because we talked about there's two reasons why people are in relationships, or there's two reasons for not finding the person they deserve. And it's because if it's one, their femininity, or two, they're in a relationship longer than they need to be in. And the whole point, want to be in anywhere that's not going to help you. And being with someone who is in a relationship with someone, it's just like, if take marriage out of the question. Let's say someone is done. They say, yeah, I got a girlfriend, or yeah, I got a boyfriend, but it ain't looking too good right now. So we can date. Like, it doesn't matter what the person says. At the end of the day, they need to end that relationship. Need to have a divorce, because there's many people that, right, even when they file for divorce, they actually end up getting back together. So you have to understand that just saying that is not enough. You actually need to be in a relationship that comes to an end. But the reason why I'm going to play this video that I have here is because the person that's talking about how she dated this married guy is because he deceived her. He made her believe that the relationship in his marriage was dead. And sadly, she's a life coach. She's a relationship coach. He's telling how I put my link in the StreamYard, so you want to call in. But let me play this video real quick. Again, if you're on Instagram, you can't see the number. The number is 813-816-1813. So if you want to have your opinion, if you want to get a request to join, if you're on Instagram, but if you want to get on this link for StreamYard, you need to go to the Facebook or YouTube stream. So let me play this video really quick. I apologize about the Wi-Fi going out, but her name is Craig. So here's the video.
I'm surprised I gotta explain this to the children again. Like, I don't got a whole video and a whole book about this entire situation. No, I didn't have a baby by some married man. I had a baby by somebody that I was in love with, that was in love with me, who led me to believe that his marriage was over. His wife led me to believe that their marriage was over. So no, I did not have a baby by a married man. Marriage is a behavior. In order for you to be married, you have to behave that way, you and your partner. See, legal marriage is not stopping people from sleeping with other people. Some people get in a relationship with somebody new while they're still married. There's plenty of people in this world who are still legally married to someone, but their behavior is not a married person. Being legally married is not stopping people from starting new relationships. There's this thing called separated that people do. And eventually, of course, after their separation, they did get legally divorced. But there are a lot of people out there who are legally divorced and still sleeping together. It's a shame that my son's father would put me in a position to have to explain this or to defend myself against people. That's the sad part, really. That's the really frustrating part about all of this, because I was a good woman, I was a nice woman, and I was doing the right thing. I didn't deceive anybody. I feel like it's my responsibility as a woman, as a life coach, as a businesswoman, as a public figure, to be honest with everyone about my situation. Now, you could try to, judge me or whatever. I don't care. But the truth of the matter is, I had a baby by a man who was behaving single, who had a wife who was behaving single. Okay, and them being legally married to each other no longer mattered to either of them, because if it did, neither one of them would have been sleeping with other people or encouraging each other to date or start a family with other people. So no, I didn't have a baby by a married man. I had a baby by a shit stain. Okay, I'm okay with a man not wanting to be with me, but I have an issue with a man not being a father, and he has no other kids. It ain't like he had kids with his ex-wife. He don't have no other kids. So this man's relationship status does not matter. You guys cannot keep using the fact that this man used to be married as an excuse for him not taking care of his only child.
Okay, so I brought this video up because this video is not necessarily to shame her. It's to say that the issue is vetting. A lot of times people put, they say, this is saying is we have to hold ourselves accountable for the things, the situations in which we're in. So yes, he seemed to have been not a good husband, not a good father, but we cannot, if we put all blame on one person and never look at ourselves, we find ourselves in situations over and over again. Why are we going through this? We things all women are or all men are, when some of the situations in which we placed ourselves in, the decisions that we decided to make. She decided to be with someone who had not cut off his relationship. Separation is not cut off. We could take marriage. If the guy was in a relationship but not dating, if he didn't cut it off, it's not off. To me, if you're still, I don't even care if you moved out. People get back together. Obviously, we know that. We live in a world where people break up to make up. People get a divorce and then end up getting back together, whether they got married, remarried, or just got back together. We have to take responsibility for some of our actions, and also we have to take responsibility. Unplanned pregnancies. Unplanned means we didn't take the time to prioritize and plan certain things. We have to take an account for that so we can do better next time. So the reason why I'm pointing out she's a life coach is because how is it that we can bring up, someone else's fault without saying, hey, he did this and he's not a great father and he led me to believe and she led me to believe. No, you believed. You believed. No one can't make you believe something. They can persuade you, but after all, this is all about vetting. So the goal here is, just to help people understand, because sometimes people think, oh, I'm all for, just for men, and I'm always shaming women. Not necessarily people say shame, but sometimes you think I'm so hard on women, but this helps you vet. If I am like everyone else, just pandering to your need, don't you wish your mother had done this for you? My mother did. And I would like to be that person to say, hey, these are the things we do. So whenever I'm to be with men, I have it's not just the male species. And with who do you give your body to? Who do you be married to? This type of man, a man who leads. You hear me talk about this. You want to be with the man who leads. He loves. Everything he says and does is within love. He elevates you, not treat you like gum at the bottom of his shoe. He aspires for greatness. He doesn't accept mediocrity. This can make him high earning. He's dedicated to the things and the people who he says he loves. So in her situation, was he dedicated to his wife and those vows? No. Was he 100% dedicated to you? No, because he's still with his wife, still attached to her somehow. As he serves his community through his greatness. He doesn't believe in just making babies. This man decided to sleep with you and not to lock it up. Make sure that you don't create things or that you get unwanted gifts, if you know what I mean. So we want to be with people who, and these men believe in the sanctity of marriage. They believe in marriage. They believe in family. They believe in creating legacies and not just making babies. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when I say you submit to this type of man, this is the man you want to be with, this is the man you do all these type of things with. This is the man that you vet for. These are the things you look for in a man. This is what a man is. If you're a man and you're listening, you want to look for a woman who does these things, except her version of love, L, is really R. So like reads, R, she respects you. And same thing, she elevates, aspires for greatness. Women need to aspire for something too, not just to be you don't want to just sit around, do nothing. You want to aspire for some type of greatness, have something for yourself. That's how you build confidence and self-esteem. And right? So hello, how are you doing? Aaron Freeman, Miss Nina Mosley, Greg, hello, how are you doing? Thank you for watching. Green Lantern over here, thank you. Yes, tomato. He sounds like he's married to me. Yes. if he quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, it's a duck. And this was a married man. So you guys tell me your thoughts. If you know someone who was married, or know someone who was fooling with other people, saying that they were, separated or going through a divorce, and then it just so happens that they never continued on with the divorce or separation, call in 813-816-1813. There are going to be some people that do end up divorcing their spouse and end up being with you. But the thing is that the foundation that you want for your relationship? So it's best to, say, you know what? I like you. I'm feeling you. Unfortunately, you're married. So when you're done with that situation, when you've gotten a divorce, then do that. And I think Alicia Keys said she did that. But a lot of people think that she was still messing with the guy. But if that's what she said, I like you, but you need to finish your divorce. I understand you filed, but you need to go ahead, get through with that divorce, and then you can come back and holler at me. But a lot of times people think, hey, we really are separated, or we're legally separated. It's a lot of money to get a divorce. It's a lot of time, a lot of issues. No, just get the divorce. If you are done, like you say, you're done. But sometimes men or women would say that they're finished with someone and they're not. And that's so they can be with you. And you're looking like boo-boo the fool, thinking that the relationship was going to come to an end. So let me know your thoughts. I will, for those who didn't hear it, I'll play the video again. And again, I said my piece. So let me play it again here real quick. And then if anyone wants to chime in, you can. If not, I think I'll move on to another topic or move on for next week. I'm trying to get back to the video. Here we go.
I'm surprised I gotta explain this to the children again. Like, I don't got a whole video and a whole book about this entire situation. No, I didn't have a baby by some married man. I had a baby by somebody that I was in love with, that was in love with me, who led me to believe that his marriage was over. His wife led me to believe that their marriage was over. So no, I did not have a baby by a married man. Marriage is a behavior. In order for you to be married, you have to behave that way, you and your partner. See, legal marriage is not stopping people from sleeping with other people. Some people get in a relationship with somebody new while they're still married. There's plenty of people in this world who are still legally married to someone, but their behavior is not a married person. Being legally married is not stopping people from starting new relationships. There's this thing called separated that people do. And eventually, of course, after their separation, they did get legally divorced. But there are a lot of people out there who are legally divorced and still sleeping together. It's a shame that my son's father would put me in a position to have to explain this or to defend myself against people. That's the sad part, really. That's the really frustrating part about all of this, because I was a good woman, I was a nice woman, and I was doing the right thing. I didn't deceive anybody. I feel like it's my responsibility as a woman, as a life coach, as a businesswoman, as a public figure, to be honest with everyone about my situation. Now, you could try to, judge me or whatever. I don't care. But the truth of the matter is, I had a baby by a man who was behaving single, who had a wife who was behaving single. Okay. And them being legally married to each other no longer mattered to either of them. Because if it did, neither one of them would have been sleeping with other people or encouraging each other to date or start a family with other people. So, no, I didn't have a baby by a married man. I had a baby by a shit stain. Okay. I'm okay with a man not wanting to be with me, but I have an issue with a man not being a father. And he has no other kids. It ain't like he had kids with his ex-wife. He don't have no other kids. So this man's relationship.
Okay, so I don't really want to hear that anymore. But something that to me, she said, I'm upset that they put me in a position to have to explain this. No, you should be upset that you put yourself in a position. Why would you want to be? Why would you want to be in a relationship with a man who is still technically married to someone else, even if they are dating other people and moving on with their lives? It's too much turmoil. You're stuck in between someone else's existing relationship because he hasn't technically broken off. It's not broken off. So then you sex and wanted to start a family with a man who didn't even make you a wife yet. Oh, but he couldn't because he was still legally married. So you said you were in a relationship with someone who was that not married, but someone who you loved him and he loved you. Did he love you? Did he really? And so this is what I want people to understand, whether you're a man or a woman listening to this. Vetting is a huge thing. You have to understand vetting. And with vetting comes making sure that you have your deal breakers and things that you expect in a relationship. Whether the person is married or not, if you want to be in a monogamous relationship, if you want to be someone's one and only, like this is an exclusive relationship, not inclusive where other people, if you want it to be, it's you and them, and that's it, then that needs to be said up front. And when people don't follow through things, then you can end the relationship. Same thing with if you say, I want to have an honest relationship. I want to make sure that we have children when our relationship is full and ready. Because sometimes having children early before you know each other can affect the relationship. So it's highly important that you do all these things early, but sometimes people do have these expectations or they may express them on the first date or two. But what happens is you find that this person is so awesome and great, and you decide to, well, I'll dismiss this red flag. I'll dismiss this red flag because it's small, right? But small issues, they seem small now, but can you deal with these same issues a year from now, 2 years, 10 years, 12 years from now? So you have to understand they may seem minute, they may seem small, but do you want to still have these issues? So if it's a red flag, it's a red flag. It needs to be addressed immediately. And it doesn't need to be pushed to the side because he's such a great man. The only thing is that he's married. He's separated or married, because we have to take into account that even if this person isn't married, the fact is he's still in a relationship that has not come to an end. Even though it was probably mentally done, physically, you're still in a relationship with someone who is in another relationship, even if mentally they've separated. What would you do if you were going on a date with someone and they told you, I'm mentally broken up with my girlfriend, just not physically. We're not living together, but technically she's still my girlfriend. You're not going to want to do that. So I think it's important that we own our responsibilities. And the reason why I'm concerned with this video is because I just don't think she took any ownership at all. The whole video was how he's a stain, how he's an issue, how he deceived, and how she's the good girl. And she would led to believe something. And she did not get in a relationship with a married man, but someone she loved and he loved her. It proved her wrong. He did not love you. And I do think it's sad on his part what he did. But we cannot erase the fact that you played a part in it. are in relationships, people they deserve, because they're spending time with people that they should not be in a relationship in, or femininity. Sometimes it's a combination. So for some people, they may have a femininity issues. For other people, they're just spending time in relationships that are dead, that are toxic, that are no good, that person doesn't see you as their wife, but you're still staying with them. Same thing for men. Men are in relationships longer than they need to be, and they're in a relationship with someone they know they don't see as their wife. And some women are in relationships with people they don't even see as their husband, but you had a baby by this person. There are women who are in relationships with people who they have children with, and they don't see themselves marrying. So now think about how backwards this is, though. We're okay with having children with people, but we don't want to marry them. Men and women, we're having children with people we don't see as a husband or a wife. Why? Why is that? And it may be some form of attachment issues that we talked about in the last live stream. We talked about 4 different attachment styles. 50% of the people grow up in a secure attachment style where they received the appropriate amount of emotional response, physical response to their needs and love and support. And then you have groups avoidance attachment style where people grew up in an environment where their caregiver avoided them or they were distant with them, right? They neglected them. They abandoned them somehow. They were absent from them. And that child had to take on the adult-like or parent style and be the man or the woman of the house. So they grew up avoiding people. They grew up, so they've seen, basically they piggyback off of what they've learned. So sometimes people grow up being, in these types of relationships. So then they go out in the world and have these same relationships with other toxic people. And then you have the people who are on the anxious, which means they're clingy because they've had parents who gave them a little bit and then pulled away. All right. So they're clingy and they're desperate for a relationship. And and it's 20% of people in these types of relationships. So sometimes we have people that are in a relationship and you're holding on to some man because you feel like you need someone. You cannot be single. And you end up having a baby, having a child with someone who doesn't even see you as a wife. I'm all about building legacies, and we can't do that by just making babies with men who don't want to hold up to their responsibilities or men that you don't respect. Yeah. Have you ever heard the term talking out the side of your neck? That's her. She might need a career in litigation. Yes. I mean, she had this whole eloquent term to just pretty much explain why she felt that it was okay that she married this guy. And I really think it's sad. I heard no holding herself accountable at all. She was not doing that. She did not see what she did wrong in this. It really is sad. And she's a life coach. I think that's why I'm more concerned. Not that she's saying this, but she's someone who has a large platform, and she's a coach. So she is helping people grow. So while a lot of people are spending their time and money listening to her and getting poor advice because she's not learning from her own issues, and she's giving out help, which is really giving out issues. She's creating more issues. So all you're learning is more issues from her. And it's sad. It's sad. And I think that, I don't know, I just think that a lot of people are in this world and they are hurt. And they are thinking they're helping others, but they're not. Because what happens is an impressionable mind will listen to that video and they won't consider themselves a side chick. They won't consider themselves as being the wrongdoer or a home wrecker or whatever have you. And in her case, I'm not saying she's the home wrecker because it appears that in that relationship, the married couple was seeing different people. But I'm saying people are going to hear what they want to hear to make their situation sound better. And they're not going to learn and they're not going to grow because they're people just like her. It's not just her, but there are other people just like her. So you have to understand, if you're dating someone and they're married and they're separated, it's not a safe bet because you don't know what may happen in that situation, whether they'll get back with that person or not. And it is not laying down a good foundation for your relationship. It's just not. The sad part about it is you technically still are the side chick, whether you want to be considered one or not. Now, if you guys okay, because I hear apparently there's proud side chicks in the world. Apparently there are. But you don't want to be that woman or that guy. That's, the side guy, whatever they call the side guy. But do you really want to be that person? I know people make jokes online about being the side person, but do you really want to be that person? Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate you all for tuning in. I'm trying to make my live streams a little bit shorter, but hopefully you guys could go back. If you missed a video, you can go back on the playback and listen to that video. And tell me, guys, what you think. All right. So place your information on the comments. If you want to know more about my content, you can go to MrsDanielleDeVita.com. All right. I'm also on YouTube, Facebook, and sometimes you can catch me on the Philip Scott Show, which I am a contributor over there. So I throw some content over there, and I'll be doing a little bit more soon. So thank you again for tuning into the Philip Scott Show. I think my Wi-Fi is a little messed up anyway, so I am going to head out, but please post your comments. Thanks, y'all. Take care. This is Danielle DeVita back with another video. I overheard someone say that marriage is overrated. A lot of women say, I like the strong silent type. Well, a lot of men like the feminine silent type. And for sure, it's going down. So a lot of times people are not getting the when to speak and when to be quiet is one of the most powerful. She's going to be aggressive, thinking that. And as someone who's been married for 12 years, she's driven, not lazy. And this will make yourself and get on the right path. That understand that you might be doing a disservice to your daughter if you don't help her understand vetting and proper decision making. Now she's going to be a basket case later. If you don't help her understand emotional intelligence, she's going to hold on to a lot of emotional baggage. If you don't. We live in a world where femininity, marriages, family, and courting is no longer valued. We live in hookup culture, situationships, and struggle love. The number one reason women struggle in long-term relationships, number one, femininity, and number two, staying in a relationship or entertaining people longer than the woman should. My name is Danielle DeVita, and I'm a relationship and femininity coach. I've been married for 12 years, and I want to help you get on your feminine journey and vet for the right man today. For more of my content, you can visit MrsDanielleDeVita.com, or you can go to YouTube, Instagram, or my Facebook page. Get on your feminine journey today.